Good morning, everybody. My name is Barry Schwartz, and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, December 30th, my last video of the 2022 year. And we have some things to talk about. It's been an interesting week, so stay tuned. Of course, I'd like to thank our sweater. No sponsor this week. It's the 5th week, and I forgot to get a sponsor until last minute, and then just right before the holidays, it didn't work out. The New Year's didn't work out. But if you're ever interested in sponsoring, definitely hit me up in the go to rustybrick.com/Barry, B-A-R-R-Y, and you can hit me up over there. Lot to discuss. Google had some ranking fluctuations on Thursday. The helpful content and link spam updates are still rolling out. Google said they're delayed because of the holidays and safety reasons. Did a lot of link talk this week, and some talks about recession and budget woes and scares in the PPC and SEO industry. So definitely stay tuned. Hope you liked the video. Subscribe, like the video, comment below. I always look at your comments, and I try to respond to everything. And let me know your feedback. Thank you. Okay, so first up, on December 26th, after a nice amount of calmness, we saw some spikes, both in the number of chatter across the SEO industry and in terms of many of the tools showing spikes in volatility at Google, specifically Google search. Lots of, like I said, you can see that some of the charts were like literally spiky. Even SEMrush, which really has been pretty calm the whole entire, well, half of the year, showed a big spike yesterday. But a lot of the tools actually showed some volatility yesterday, so I was wondering maybe Google kicked it into gear. Maybe Google kicked into gear those updates, but I'm not sure because it kind of died down this morning. And then we got an update from Google around the helpful content update, the December 22 helpful content update, and the link spam update. They were supposed to be done. The helpful content update is like basically now almost 4 weeks in. The link spam update is now like 2.5+ weeks in. They were both supposed to be done 2 weeks after they started rolling out. They are not. John Mueller says sometimes things take longer, for good or for bad. We tried to reduce the amount of change in our system over the holidays for safety reasons. He added, and that sometimes means that things that started before take a bit longer to complete. People are asking, what do you mean by safety reasons? I think it specifically means that if they change the status quo today, the engineers that worked on these algorithms may be out for the holidays. And because they're out for the holidays, if something breaks with these types of updates because of a change to the status quo, then that engineer is not around, or those engineers are not around to go ahead and fix anything, and that would cause an issue for Google's search safety reasons. That makes sense. So a bit longer. I do suspect it will be done next week at some point. I can't imagine it'll take much longer, but who knows? But obviously last weekend was Christmas, and with Christmas we had a calmer weekend with Google search, which isn't always the case. But the chatter in the industry, SEO industry, which is generally the case, did slow down significantly over the weekend. And the tracking tools all showed very low volatility over the weekend as well with the Christmas break. So hopefully you guys had a nice Christmas and Hanukkah. This is my Hanukkah sweater, even though Christmas and Hanukkah are over for the past 4 or 5 days. I figured I'd wear it because last week I had a sponsor, so I couldn't wear it. But I know some people here appreciate sweaters. Let's get into the link segment. So John Mueller said building your site on bad links over time will have a lasting effect. And he basically said, it's tempting to build a house of cardboard. It's cheap. It looks like a house very quickly, but removing the cardboard doesn't make the house stable. Basically, somebody's saying you built your website on really, really bad, quick, cheap, and dirty links. It looked great for a while, but now you have to remove those bad links because of whatever reasons, or Google removed them for you, and now your house is basically collapsing because of it. And it will take a while for you to go ahead and pull out the cardboard and insert those bricks to make a stable house. And that's what he's basically saying. And that's definitely true. This is a conversation he had on Mastodon, so definitely take a look at that. Also, Lizzie Sasson from Google, hopefully pronouncing that right, Sasson or Sasson, I don't know. If you're watching this, let me know if I'm pronouncing it right. Or Sassman, basically said that, and this is with a Google SEO office hours, which was released right before the holidays yesterday. The question was, is there any difference in the internal link is under the word here, meaning the anchor text is here, or should you use a keyword? And Lizzie said, it doesn't really matter if it's an internal link or to something on your site or if it's an external link, but basically she said here is still a bad link text. Basically use the descriptive anchor text to describe what you're saying. So instead of saying here, say this page is about crackers and use the word crackers or whatever it might be. So keep that in mind. And of course, that's pretty logical for most SEOs. But I always like to quote Google's questions and answers because sometimes it's like, oh, it's obvious, but it's obvious. John Mueller said something also that he thought would get him in trouble, basically saying that you should not add no follow links to your social media profiles. Now, it's not saying your social media profiles shouldn't have no follow links. All social media profiles, Twitter, YouTube, everything basically on the links pointing to your website from social media. So Twitter pointing to your website are no followed. But if you're linking to your profile from your website, you shouldn't no follow those because those build a picture of who you are across the web. It's not really an SEO thing. It's basically, do you trust that this is my social media profile? If you say no, then maybe Google won't trust it or something like that. But it's a way for Google and other search engines to kind of build a profile around you. And if you're no following that, maybe that's a sign that Google you don't trust those links, which is interesting. Also, John Mueller had to say that links on YouTube won't help you with SEO or rankings. This came up the other day, and surprised by the amount of feedback and negativity around this post. Basically, if you go to a YouTube video, you search for no follow, you'll see every single link in a YouTube video is no followed. Every single link to your website or to an external website is no follow by default. But SEOs are saying, no, if you have a YouTube video and you're linking from your YouTube video to your website, that's going to help your website get indexed faster and rank better. And the answer is no, it won't. John Mueller said, no, it won't help with indexing. No, it won't help with SEO. No, it won't help with rankings because those links are no followed. But SEOs don't believe Google. Surprise, surprise. And then on the helpful content update, John Mueller answered the questions. Basically, the question was, my site is in the field of medicine and is with exclusive content that has suffered a severe fall. Our content is completely unique. All the articles have infographics. Even a dedicated video has been produced. It seems your algorithms is wrong on the Persian web. John said, to be frank, none of those attributes mean that content is good, accurate, and helpful. Making something good, especially for medicine, takes much, much more than writing unique text, adding infographics, and a video. I'll leave it at that. But try never to tell Google they're wrong. Doesn't really help. There is a bug, I'm not sure if it's fixed yet, with Google search around signed exchanges. Basically, instead of Google pre-catching and pre-serving the signed exchange page, the signed exchange version of that page, Google's going to serve the HTML page and not pre-cache it and pre-fetch it, which means it'll be a little slower, but you shouldn't affect any of your traffic. This was spotted by Richard Herney and Omar Rahamim. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. And John Mueller basically said, it's not affecting anything outside of the pre-caching and the signed exchange stuff, but you should be getting traffic as normal from Google search. And while one person said, no, it's not, we're not getting the same amount of traffic, another person said, yes, we are. So it is what it is. And then we had a LastPass security breach a week or so ago. And there is some SEO advice there because the unencrypted part of it were not the passwords, but the URLs that you were logging into. And if you were logging into any staged URLs or private servers or test URLs that you don't want Google or other search engines to pick up on, and those URLs maybe just posted across the web, then you probably want to go ahead and make sure to lock those things down if you haven't already. Of course, that whole LastPass thing is really annoying. Hopefully you guys weren't too affected by it. And Google is testing a feature, which I can't replicate myself, but it's on the product results. So if you go to a product listing, a specific product, it will show you the price history chart. This was spotted by StatAK, which is super interesting. I do see the typical prices across the web, and it's pretty cool to see that how the prices have changed across a specific product across the web, which is something Google's been doing more and more. Google Ads is now going to allow some cannabis, hemp, marijuana types of ads in some regions starting on January 20th, 2023. The policy basically said specific FDA-approved pharmaceuticals containing cannabis and CBD and topical hemp-derived CBD products with THC content of 0.3% or less, California, Colorado, and Puerto Rico will be allowed. Those are the specific regions that will be allowed going forward. And then Brody Clark did a poll asking SEOs, are you threatened by ChatGPT threatening the SEO industry? The poll asked, do you think that ChatGPT or AI features in general pose a serious threat to the SEO industry? I think he means like, is this stuff going to write my content for me? Is it going to do my SEO for me? And most of the people said no. About 59% said no. The rest said they're worried, but we'll see. It seems like these AI tools are able to pick up on when content is written by AI. There's lots of cool tools. Glenn Gabe did a whole thing around it. Check out his blog around how AI could pick up on AI written content. And it's pretty good at picking out human versus AI content. So pretty interesting to see that. And then I did a poll asking, are SEOs and PPCs, marketers, worried about their SEO and PPC budgets being reduced or cut because of the looming recession in 2023 happening? And the results were 40% said they are not worried, 37% said they are somewhat worried, and 23% said they are very worried. So it seems like there are a lot of SEOs and PPCers that are worried about budget cuts. I worry about everything, so I would be worried. But again, nothing you can do about worry. Just try to get more business and try to prove your value. And then John Mueller again, his 15 years in a row helping SEOs and webmasters and content creators on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. He was out there on Twitter, on Mastodon, on social media, responding to SEO questions from people. And he did this every single year since 2007 at least. So keep that in mind. Again, thanks so much, John, for everything you do. I assume you probably do the same thing on New Year's, which you always do. So thank you for everything you do. And thanks to the whole Google search team. They posted their end of the year thing, which is everything they've done. Thanks to Gary, Lizzie, Martin, Alan, Danny, all these people for everything they do to help support the SEO and webmaster community. And then a final thank you. I wanted to do my thank you post where I do basically cite and credit the people who actually go ahead and help make Search Engine Roundtable what it is. I basically went through a database crawl of all the times I mentioned different Twitter handles. Now, I don't only cover Twitter, so it's kind of skewed, but the people I cite the most based on scraping the site, my site, or pulling the database and saying how many @ symbols I found. So top people are John Mueller, almost 500 times, Glenn Gabe, almost about 170 times, Google Search Central, Koshul, Ads Liaison, that's Judy Marvin, Danny Sullivan, Brody Clark, Sad AK, Punnett, Morty Oberstein, Joy Hawkins, Brian Fitzgerald, Lily Ray, Marie Haynes, Google Ads, Daniel Weisberg, PPC Greg, and the list goes on and on. So I have a whole list there. Thank you again. Without you guys and your contributions, I would not be able to keep up what's going on with everything. So I appreciate all your help over the years. And I'm wishing you a healthy, happy, peaceful, successful 2023. And let's keep sharing. Thanks again to the whole community. Thanks again to the industry. Everyone have a happy, healthy 2023. New Year's, enjoy, and I'll see you guys in 2023. Bye-bye. Thank you.